Hi friends. All right, it's me, Alexis, your personal trainer, your online bestie. So I'm making this video to show you I get this question all of the time, is that people aren't feeling comfortable in the gym because they don't know if their form's correct and they feel like they're doing things incorrectly. So I thought I'd make this video to show you some of the common things that I see people doing incorrectly and how to easily correct that, and different cues that you can keep in mind when you're working out, so you know that when you are working the right muscle group that move is supposed to be targeting and strengthening and building, and so you don't injure yourself, and so that you know what the heck you're doing and you feel really confident and empowered about the movement that you're doing. So let's get into it. Okay, so first move, we're just gonna get into a basic squat. So basic squat here is, everyone's a little bit different because we all have different bodies. But what I do, my biggest suggestion is, your option is your toes can be straight, can be pointed forward, or they can be pointed outward slightly. I like to plant mine a little bit outward because I do have open hips. Most women have open hips, so this works better for me because I can get a little bit better range. Obviously there's a ton of variations of different squats, but I'll show you what a proper squat would look like. So you're going to want to have your shoulders rolled back and down, and then you're going to come down, making sure that knee stays in alignment with that ankle, not going over that front toe. So sitting back in that chair, your glutes are going to extend. And think of if you had a little bench behind you, you were just doing a little tap, tap. Oftentimes what I see is people will go down and they'll come up and they'll do this extended hip thrust. You don't need to do that. So the way that I describe it, that I cue it, is imagine that you have a penny in between your butt cheeks and you're squeezing that penny in between your butt cheeks as you come up. It's an exhale as you rise. Breathing is super important. You're going to want to pull your core in towards your belly button. What that's going to do is that's going to help to make sure that your glutes are working, that your quads are working, your hamstrings. Another thing that I commonly see is the knees going too forward over. So it's hard for me to even do it. But leaning forward too much is how you're going to get those knees going forward. So if you can see, I'm not going to be hitting my glutes as much because I'm leaning forward so much. So instead, we've got a nice tall spine to start, and then our core is pulled in, nice and proud chest. There's that straight line from my tailbone to the top of my head. Right there. Good. And then if this doesn't feel comfortable, what you can do is you can just take that range out and not go as deep. That's totally fine as you're building your glutes up, building your leg, that lower body strength. Also, sometimes what you'll see is people's knees bowing in. So what this means is that the abductors aren't strengthened, or maybe just haven't been used yet, or you're not used to the movement, and then the gluteus median isn't strengthened as well, or you're just not used to using it. So the way that we would correct this is we would put a band, one of those resistance bands, around your thighs right here, and we would just start with that nice and easy range. And so what that's going to do is that's going to force you to push your knees out so there's no slack in that band. Also, engaging your core is going to really help you keep those knees in alignment with those toes, pointed in that same direction. So that's one thing that I see with squats. Another thing to note is I'll make another video for that. So there's different ways to do moves depending if you want to hit your hamstrings more, your glutes more, your quads more. But I'll do another video for that. So let's go into lunges. So one thing I see with lunges is people coming and thinking that they need to take their foot back in a straight line to their other foot. That's going to be really hard for your balance. So instead, you can do, your foot comes out maybe half an inch, right? So a little bit out is going to help. making sure that you step far enough back is gonna help you get that range so that back leg is in a 90-degree angle. Weight presses down through that front foot. That's gonna engage that planted leg and that glute. Again, core always engaged in pretty much everything. What that's gonna do is protect your low back, make sure you're working your lower body. Nice strong posture. Exhale as you elongate or stand. Inhale as you're doing most of that work. Good. Another option too is if you're just getting into this or you're new to the gym, is you can shorten the stance a little bit and shorten your range and just slow it down. So really making sure that core is engaged and you're pressing down through that top or that front heel. Right there, that's it. And you'll start to feel it burn. Even though you're not getting as much of a step back, you're not going as deep, you can even make it even smaller. Just do like little taps back. So that's your option. Deadlifts, you can do this with a kettlebell or dumbbells. So we're hinging at the waist, feet are no wider than hip width apart, belly button pulled towards spine. It's a bend and snap. Rolling those shoulders back, weight in the middle part of that foot. Now, it's not a squat, right? So some people, what I'll see is they'll squat down and come up. It's a slight bend in your knees. If you want to work the glutes more, you can add a deeper bend while still keeping that hinge forward. Keeping the weight close to your body. Keeping that core pulled in is going to protect your lower back. Make sure you're hitting the correct muscles. All right, bent over rows. These are like really light weights, but rolling those shoulders back, finding your hinge. Elbows come straight back. What I see sometimes is people just like flailing those elbows out. We want to keep them tucked in close. Squeezing the shoulder blades in the back. And then controlling that movement as the weights come down. See my nice bend in the leg? I'm not here. You don't want to walk out your knees. That's going to really hurt your lower back as well. Push-ups. Push-ups is a really common one. So what I see with push-ups a lot of the time is people's heads going down like this, where they're tucking their chin. And then I see people going really wide like this, or they're like looking up, which is really putting a lot of stress on your neck, straining your neck. So what you want to do for a regular push-up is, if you were looking at me from a bird's eye view, your elbows would be at a W position. So we're not doing a tricep push-up, but we're not flaring those elbows out either. And what you can do is you want to look, this is the most important, so that you have that straight line from the top of your head to your tailbone. You want to look a few inches in front of you. To get to push-ups on, I have a video on how to progress into full range push-ups, but my biggest thing is your breath and pushing through your palms and your index finger and shifting that weight back into your heels to take the pressure off the shoulders. So we're going to inhale as we go down, exhale as we come up. Tricep push-ups. Those elbows gaze next to the rib cage. Good. All right. So if you have any questions about specific moves, feel free to send me a message. I'll make a video for you and we'll get it uploaded. All right. Have a beautiful Monday and thanks for watching.